Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be learning about input functions. Input functions allow a user to enter information in which is stored in a variable, and then that variable can be recalled or printed so that you can see the output of what you've inputted. I know I just said a mouthful right there, but stay tuned and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. I'm going to be implementing concepts that I've spoken about in previous videos. If you haven't already, check those videos out. I'm going to link those videos in the description below. I talk about comments, print statements, and variables, which we will definitely be using right now. All right, to get started with input statements, what I want the program to do is I want the program to ask the user to enter their name, their age, as well as their gender. In order to do that, we first need to store the input function within a variable. Now, Python is great because I can actually name my variable name. So since I'm asking for the user's name, I can actually call this variable name and then type input. And notice PyCharm automatically gives a suggestion about what it thinks you want to say. And this is exactly what I want to say. So this is the input function. And then I'm going to ask the user to please enter your name, colon and space. And I noticed something. I actually made a mistake right there. So instead of you, I put your. So I'll go ahead and put a comment above this. And I want to say in my comment, this input statement is stored in a variable. It asks the user for their name. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and copy and paste this because I also want to ask for their age and their gender. And I'll go ahead and change my comment to age right here, and age right here as well. I'll do this one more time. And as I stated before in previous videos, you always want to make sure that you write comments for those who are looking at your code and also for yourself. But one other thing that's important as I type this out is that you want to also test out your line of code before you just kind of go, bonkers with it. And so I'll test this out. I want to make sure that there are no errors first before I just continue to write code, because the more code that you write, the harder it is to find mistakes if you make them. So Blake is my name. I'll go ahead and say my age, and then I'll enter my gender. And this is great. No more errors, or no errors. Since we have no errors, it's safe to continue. And what we want to do next is we want to implement print statements. So I want to be able to print what the user is inputted within the name, the age, and their gender. So let's go ahead and do that. I can say print hi, comma, space. And then next thing I want to do is I want to add a plus symbol. That's what's known as concatenation. And then I want to put the variable name. And after the person's name is recalled, I can say plus again, and then in quotes, exclamation point. And you'll see why I'm doing that. So I'll go ahead and run this. I want to enter the name again, the age, and the gender. And then voila, you see hi Blake. Okay, so notice, there's a space between the comma and the name that comes from here within the quotes, concatenation, and the name is what we've inputted right here in this variable. So it's basically just recalling that name from that input statement. And then I have exclamation point. All right, next what we want to do now is we want to print their age. You can say you are, and then I'll leave it like that since it is a space between or after R and before the quotes. Concatenation, age, concatenation again. I'll put a space right here, and then I'll say young. And then I'll put an exclamation point right there. So let's go ahead and run that. All right, we'll do it again. My name, my age, my gender. Hi, Blake. You are 34 years young. All right, we have one more print statement that we want to do, and that is to print the gender. And I made a slight correction up here. I kept saying statement. The correct term is input function, but I just wanted to make sure that I said that. You know, it was a slight error on my part. All right, now let's go ahead and print our gender. You are a, and I'll put plus symbol again after gender, and then I'll put period. Now if we run this, go ahead and say our name, our age, our gender, and we are done. So we have, hi Blake, you are 34 years young, you are a male. All right, you've just learned about input statements and also, you know, an added bonus, concatenation as well. Feel free to ask any questions that you have in the comments. Let me know if you have any suggestions for another video or different videos, something that you might want to see. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and also turn on the notifications so you'll be alerted for my next videos. All right, thank you guys for tuning in again.